What's up, fruit friends? I got a really special one for you today. I'll show you. All right, so that's the Monstera Deliciosa fruit. It was sent to me by @SeedTalkOC from Instagram. I'll link him in the description. Before I get into that, you may have noticed that the setting is a little bit different today, and that's because in honor of this fruit, I wanted to shoot this one out here on my patio because I actually have the plant that this fruit grows on. Now, the fruit I have today didn't actually come from my plant, but it probably came from one similar to that in California. So here's mine, and I just wanted to show you it because they're really neat plants. This one with the big leaves, that's why they're so sought after, because they've got these big, beautiful, kind of glossy leaves with holes in them called fenestrations. And you might think that mine looks kind of big, like those are, gee, that's a big house plant, those are some big leaves. But actually, the Monstera fruit, for the fruit to even form on the plant has to be much bigger than this, maybe like 10 times as big for it to even begin to fruit. So it really takes a lot you have to have a very mature plant for it to start fruiting. And then once it does start fruiting, you're looking at over a year to have ripe fruit, to have fruit that's ready to pick. So this is also a Monstera. This is another form of the Monstera plant. They're really nice house plants. Anyways, this is what grows on it. And the fruit is also very unique and cool in its own right. As you can see, it looks like a large pine cone that is kind of peeling off. And you're gonna ask, what's going on there? Why is it peeling off? What is going on? What am I looking at? So the fruit, the edible flesh of the fruit is inside. It's that white kind of honeycomb type looking flesh you can see there. And it's protected by these, I guess these are pentagonally geometric scales. Oh wow, huge piece just fell off. That surround the fruit. And this fruit, you actually can't eat it when it's not ripe. Well, you can, but you're gonna be really hurting yourself because it's filled with something called oxalic acid, which it's my understanding that it takes on this crystalline structure within the fruit that actually, it's kind of like needles or pins, is what it feels like when you're actually when you eat the unripe fruit that is saturated with the oxalic acid. But as it ripens, the oxalic acid goes away through some chemical process. I don't know what happens there, but you know it's ripe when the skin starts to peel back. And it's not going to all ripen at once. You only want to eat the portions of the fruit that their skin has already naturally peeled back. You don't want to force it to peel back on its own, actually. My whole fruit a few days ago was looking like this end, just completely intact. And then I didn't check on it for a couple days, came back, and this was going on. So that's how I know it's ripe. It's got a very strong, kind of pungent smell, fruity, tropical. It smells like coconut sunscreen, honestly. That's exactly what it smells like. Or a pina colada with some pineapple in there. Very nice smell. It really smells like a coconut sunscreen or a pina colada sunscreen. Wow, I'm so excited to try this. So we know it's ripe because it's peeling back. Let's peel some of this off together and just see what that looks like. So you can kind of it just crumbles right off and falls off. Wow, that's neat. So I'm only gonna pull back just a little bit just to be safe. And then this top part here. And it kind of resembles an ear of corn or something. Wow, and I'm touching this part this part, it's wet, feels wet, and I guess you might notice some of these black little specks sticking out, and I think those are actually little oxalic acid concentrations of it. But I think in moderation it's okay to consume. I don't really see a ton of it on there, so I will just take a bite. And you're also able to wash it off easily. Wash the black specks off if you really want to, just to be safe. But since I'm out here, I really don't want to go inside again. I'm just gonna try to take a bite out of it, and I'm just gonna eat it like I would eat an ear of corn. So this is native to Mexico and South America, I believe. But now it's grown you can get this fruit anywhere where the Monstera is grown. But like I said, you can't grow it as an indoor house plant if you want fruit. You got to give it lots of space, lots of sun probably. And it's got to have a lot of time to get big. So yeah, let's, wonderful smell. Let's try it. It's delicious. I'm just kind of freaking out because I thought it was ripe, and then I'm definitely noticing those, like, it tastes like little needles or fiberglass that I may have just swallowed. So I'm wondering if it's not like perfectly ripe, this one. I'm gonna try. Well, I'm also noticing a lot of the black part in the middle there. I definitely feel it in my mouth. You can kind of maybe see even, I'm not sure if that's what, I can't get it on film, but looking up there, it looks like to be little fibers sticking out of the fruit. And that's concerning. I thought it was ripe because it was peeling, but you might want to look. I mean, I do see the little fibers, and there's a ton of black stuff in there. And that's like such a shame. But honestly, my mouth now, it feels okay. It did feel like you're eating, like, I don't know, maybe I'm just being a little wimp. Because my mouth feels fine now. I'm gonna wash it and take one more bite. Okay, I actually like tried to, so you can like, it is like segmented, kind of like a pineapple. You can pull out little chunks of it. But, and I was trying a couple of these ones, and I did like try and wash it off a little bit. But I'm gonna go ahead and say that even though it was peeling off, it wasn't perfectly ripe, because there was a lot of like little kind of like needly, fibery irritant. And I'm just like really hesitant to like really dig in on it. For that reason, I'm gonna try and let it sit for a little longer and try again. It's really unfortunate. I hope I didn't waste this whole piece of fruit, which I think I may have. Flavor though, it's really hard to say, because I definitely got a lot of this like fiberglassy like irritant, but it was good. It was really good. It was really tropical. It really reminds me of coconut. A lot of people say pineapple, and you know what? I think like it is kind of like pineapple-y. It's really like pina colada. It's like a good mix of coconut and pineapple. Kind of, you get like a little bit of a creaminess almost, honestly, from this coconut, and then kind of like a citrusy lighter component that's like kind of like a kind of like pineapple. I really wish I could just chow down on this part, but yeah, just be really careful with this fruit. It's definitely edible. There's a whole history of it being eaten, but we're going to, yeah, just be careful if you decide to eat it. So I'll check back in a couple days and hopefully we're able to eat it. I'll also add that, oh yeah, so this is Monstera Deliciosa fruit, and I guess Deliciosa, I think it's like a cognate. It translates into delicious, and Monstera is monster. I think that's in Latin maybe, and so this is a delicious monster, or maybe it's in like Spanish, because that's where this is native to, is Mexico and South America, where they speak Spanish. So this is a delicious monster, so it's delicious, but then the monster part is the fact that like it could really hurt you if you eat an unripe one. Pretty cool though. But anyways, we'll wait. I'll check back in a little bit.